going to talk about blood pressure for a few minutes. Do you know what your numbers are? When was the last time you went to your doctor? Did you get nervous when you were waiting for him to come in or her to come in? And of course, then your blood pressure seems to go off the charts. You're nervous and you're worried. And when you've got a blood pressure monitor at home that you can track your own blood pressure and then bring that information to the doctor, that in and of itself helps my blood pressure seem to kind of level out a little bit. Well, we're gonna talk a little more about this with a registered nurse, my friend Matthew Peters, who I'm always look forward to working with because we get to help people live a healthier, better life.
Nice to be here. Happy
New Year.
Nice
to have you. You too.
And I love talking about this with all of you at home. I want to discuss blood pressure with you here. I don't want to discuss it with you in the emergency room.
Right.
So take a look at this from Veridian as we talk about these statistics too. 1 in 3 adults has high blood pressure. That's 75 million of us here in the United States. But only about half of us have it under control with our diet and our exercise, our medications. Another group the same size, another 75 million, has that undetected high blood pressure. Those readings could be taken, but they're not pre-hypertension, all right? So that means that that is the crisis waiting to happen. It's costing us $46 billion a year with our hospital bills, our medications, everything like this. So what can we do about it? I want you to take a look at what Veridian brings you. I cannot believe that they still have quantities available for this, Callie, because it's been selling so quickly. Everybody is on that bandwagon for the new year, and I love that because it's an important bandwagon. You're gonna see numbers on the screen. It's gonna store 60 readings in memory. That means that you don't have to jot these down on a piece of paper in a journal, bring them to your doctor. They're all here for you, but these aren't numbers. These represent your life.
That's true.
So 120/80 is what we want. This comes with a hypertension indicator that you can see color-coded. It tells you that this reading is in the red, it's higher than normal. But the peace of mind here is what you get, because for this value, you get a clinically accurate blood pressure monitor that you can take on your wrist. It's gonna fit wrists about 5.5 inches to 8.5 inches. It's gonna give you those accurate readings from Veridian that you can trust. And Callie, Veridian even gives you a 1-year warranty on this product. So just, you know, I don't talk about price. That's your job, Callie. However, I'm looking at this right now. They've kept this offer down so that this is kind of like you go to the fast food restaurant, what you're gonna spend for you and your spouse or your grandchild for one meal. This gives you peace of mind for years for that price.
And I'm taking my own blood pressure right now. It's so comfortable. It fits the wrist so comfortably. It's not one of those things you have to use a stethoscope. It's just as easy as it could be, and it takes your blood pressure reading just like that. Now mine's a little bit higher today, and I think it's partly because of exercise and coffee this morning, but it doesn't stress me out because I know what I'm generally at. And I love how easy it is to read what your blood pressure is. Now, I'm gonna ask you, because I know it uses a method called oscillometric or something like that, which is really what's important. Isn't that the flow of blood through your arteries?
Yeah, easy for you to say. So, you know what? It's that automatic inflation and deflation technology that Veridian provides to you. And let's talk about it actually. We have Jen here. So while I'm talking about that technology that you get in this unit, I want to show you the proper way to take your blood pressure. Now you see Jen is sitting comfortably, resting position with her feet flat on the floor. Now she's placed the monitor on her wrist, hook and loop enclosure. It's latex free. So if you have any sort of sensitivities, don't worry about it. Now you see where she has this placed. Before she presses the button, she's eager to do it because her readings have been great. So the monitor is right at her heart level. That means that it's not fighting against gravity. Now go ahead and show them the button that you push, Jen. Just one button, and it's gonna get her started. So in about 25 or 30 seconds, we're gonna get a clinically accurate blood pressure reading. I'll go over the reading with you and with Jen afterward, because Jen monitors her heart rate. That's an important part of her life because she runs half marathons. And we saw that great product from Tony, Tony Little. You know, he's the fitness guru for you at home. It's important, and Tony would agree, that before you start an exercise program, consult with your doctor. Know what's going on inside your body.
Right.
Now, we already have a reading here, and I just want to go over this very quickly. 129 systolic,
Very nice.
over 89 diastolic. It's interpreted over here in the yellow because it's slightly higher than a quote-unquote normal reading. Now, over here underneath, we have Jen's heart rate is 98. All of these numbers are slightly above normal. Folks, we're on live TV right now. That is completely understandable, but it's gonna store 60 readings in memory. That's 2 months worth of readings. So at home, you get the comfort and the discretion of taking these in the privacy of whatever setting you want. You get the carrying case with you. It's gonna automatically shut off, so it's gonna conserve that battery power. You get the batteries included. There's no reason not to do this.
I tell you what, it's basically a $20 bill. I mean, does a $20 bill give you a little bit of peace of mind at night knowing that you've got your own blood pressure monitor available to access? I mean, whether it's for you, for your husband, for your kids, I mean, you know, it's interesting because high blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason, and it doesn't just strike a certain age group. It's not just a certain genetic. You could be the black sheep of the family. Your whole family could have high blood pressure and you don't. But if you don't know, you're walking around just taking a risk, right?
Yeah, take a look at those numbers once again. And as you're looking at these numbers and the numbers that are on this blood pressure monitor when Jen takes her readings, these numbers represent you at home. They represent my mom. She had a heart attack. So 1 in 3 of us has high blood pressure. That was my mom. It was undetected for a while. She landed in the emergency room. She had a heart attack. She's doing well today, but folks, do not mess around with this. All it takes is a little bit of that peace of mind, that knowledge, not to have your head in the sand. There's no excuse not to get this home.
And don't let it freak you out if your readings are a little high. You can do things. It's not about, oh my goodness, here we go, I've got to deal. You could fix this with diet and exercise. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're gonna have to start taking blood pressure medication, or it might. You can talk to your doctor about that. It's just having that knowledge, and that in and of itself can calm you down. Certain things can stress us out and elevate. Sometimes it's just extra, you know, too much sodium, or there's all kinds of things that can give the doctor in a one sit-down visit a higher reading than what you know your blood pressure really is on a normal day. So that's why it's called the white coat syndrome, isn't it?
Absolutely, and sometimes when you go into the doctor's office, you'll get a very high reading. The doctor will calibrate the medication dosage based on that reading. Don't let that happen, everybody, especially if you're on medications. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is a little secret that a lot of people don't know. If you look at us here on the couch, if you look at Jen, can you say, she probably has high blood pressure? Or you look at me and you say the same thing? You don't say that. And the reason is because high blood pressure has no look. And even more dangerously for you at home and everyone out there within the sound of my voice is that blood pressure often has no signs, no symptoms. That's why the first symptom or the first sign might be when you have a heart attack or a stroke and you have that family emergency that everybody's called to. So just know what's going on inside your body. Get it home, you'll love it. It's clinically accurate, and you know what? 60 readings in memory, that allows you to take this right into your doctor. You can even take your blood pressure in the doctor's office using their equipment and using your equipment. So Jen just gave a little chuckle because she knows this is a higher reading, especially for her, 148 over 84, all right? So how do I know that's high too? If you don't have any clinical knowledge at home, don't worry about it. This tells you it's in the red. But you saw Jen's reading about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Her normal, I know from doing the show, is right about normal, 120 over 80. Maybe Jen had a cup of coffee. Maybe she rushed out to the set to be on live TV. Those things are normal. So it changes second by second. That's why it's so important to know what's going on, to work with your doctors, to have this regulated if you need it regulated.
Now, as an RN who works in the emergency room, and I too don't want you to meet Matthew there, what would you say is, how do I start this? Is it important to take your blood pressure reading at a certain time of the day?
You know, people ask me that all the time. And what I say is, first of all, make sure you're doing it properly like Jen. Second of all, you want to do it before you start your day with any coffee, nicotine, any sort of stimulants, maybe a few minutes after you first wake up in the morning, at the same time every day. That way you know that your blood pressure readings are regulated and you have the same circumstances. So if your reading changes from second by second, that's normal. If you're uncomfortable with the reading that you got, you simply take a couple of deep breaths and you have your Veridian device here that's clinically accurate, that you can trust, that you can just take a another reading and get the one that you feel
guys,
comfortable with.
Every home needs this. You need to have at least one. And you can share it, but you know what? Get one for your home, get one for your mom and your dad's home, get one for your son.